Good afternoon. My name is Troy Fan, Dana, and Minor, and we are going to be reporting about a project on creating a database for the Hawaii National Guard enlisted airmen. And these are our clients. So our agenda for today is the project summary, project schedule, project budget, lesson learned, and then rooms for Q&A at the end. Okay, what is the project purpose? So we want to establish an automatic database for a client so that they can organize, store, and recall personal information, membership information for their members. And of the project status, so we completed the project successfully. The client is happy about the result and the product. Okay, and also there are ongoing deliverables. Our project, like many other group ahead of us, are just the beginning part, and our clients would take that and run off with it as they want. So this is just the bare bones, just to get them going. Project impact. Yeah, so the background on our client is that these are old timers that used to, or still kept a lot of the information on like Excel spreadsheet and had to go in by hand and recall. And so then the members are not informed of what their informations are. They're not informed of when their membership dues are up. They're not informed of their personal information. So it was really hard to communicate between the board of directors, the program, the organization, and their members. So that's why we do the project database for them. Impact. So of course we, as a project team, are a stakeholder in this project. Our client, HNGEA members and their committee. And majority indicator, pretty much 100% successful. Dana would talk more about the database and give you some snapshots of that. So the database the back end is completed, 100% completed, but it's the front end where the users, so they take it and they want to tweak it, make it nice, make it user-friendly, and make it artistic as they want. Recommendations for those who want to repeat something like this, create a front-end user face. So because this project is done in conjunction with the IS 6050 database class, the database class is not responsible for the front-end user, so there must be a better communication with that. So of course that would save a lot of time, budget, when you go into start working using man hours for that. Okay, and Dana would talk about the database itself.
Click for me. Okay, I click for you. Going back on a little bit on the recommendations part, the part with the user interface, it was recommended during the project because it was found that there were programming language compatibility issues. So when the database was being imported onto the hosting web server, there was issues with the programming language. They were different. So because of that, the front end was created in Access. The database, the back end is with SQL Developer. And then once it's finished, but there's still a little bit of tweaks we're kind of making. You know, when you think something's done, you find something, you're like, ooh, we can do this. Ooh, let's do that. So, you know, me and my partners in the other class, IS 6065, we're still kind of tweaking things a little bit, but everything's pretty much done. Then we'll go into Access, kind of look at those scripts, give it to the web administrator so he can tweak it and put it into the hosting website's programming language and build the user interface from there. The database portion of it has already been imported on the hosting web server, so we're pretty much done with that. Just wanted to point out that we're still addressing an issue as far as if the information is going to be held here locally, that'll solve a lot of the problems that we have. As Troy was saying earlier, as far as them still working with Excel spreadsheets to send out to the different states to have information on their members, that's not working. That's why this was made for here locally, but nationally, they're still managing member IDs, payments. We need to bring that down to the local level so we can add that stuff in and manage it on the database as well. And I'm really going to hit this hard with the H&GEA committee is our web administrator needs to be hooked up a little bit more. Right now, he's only getting $200 a year. You know, it's volunteer. But I think maybe more resources need to be made available to him. Money, maybe possible classes that are out there for him to take advantage of, or for the H&GEA to pay his the cost for him to attend these types of training. If, you know, they kind of want someone to manage their website, they should kind of be there to hook him up a little bit and give him the additional training that's needed so he can do that. On the database portion, this is just the next few slides, we'll just click through it. It's just showing the back end to the database on SQL Developer. And then it's going to roll into this is our front end. So we have our login page, member login. Okay, so right here is the member form. This is one of the things that they wanted is for the member to log in and be able to pull up all their information. So this is successful. When the member logs in, they're going to see all their information. And then what's not on here is if you were to scroll up a little bit or look down on the page, it also shows payment status as well. On this screen, a member can also update their personal information, which is not all in here yet, like contact, email address, maybe future, even socials, once the website administrator decides how he wants to lock it down. But from here, the member can update all their stuff. So that was one of the requirements that was fulfilled. The next forms, the representatives, they needed a login too to be able to go in and see unit information. So as we click through, it'll show, here's a page for them to select. These are predefined queries already set up where all they got to do is click on the run query. It'll bring up a query of whatever the sections say, and then on the end, it's a report that can be generated and printed out for them. Same thing here and here. Now this is the part that representatives wanted. They wanted to be able to go in and sort membership information by service, so either Air National Guard or Army National Guard, and also by unit. So they make these selections, and in the bottom, it'll come down with the selections that they made, and then they're able to make a report from that. And then I'll pass it over to Minor.
Good evening. This slide just shows some of the significant dates and events that occurred throughout our project. Everything, we're pleased the way everything worked out. It moved right along. We pretty much stayed on schedule. Right at the bottom there, that second bullet is our plan to actual schedule. Okay, a little bit early in some instances, and of course we still have a couple of phases that are ongoing. Next slide.
So this is our tracking Gantt chart. It shows everything that is 100%. Maybe you guys can all see it, but except for that little activity at 5.4, it says 70%, because again, the client have to take that, go to their back home, to their organization, and then incorporate that into their user. So, but other than that, everything is 100% complete.
Concerning the budget, there were no funds actually allocated for this project, so we tracked our budget by actually tracking man-hours and the manpower costs. No subcontractors were used, it was just the project team. And we were a little bit over budget because of the man-hours required in some instances. This is our budget by output. It's a little bit difficult to see right on the front end there, needs assessment. Took a little bit more time than we expected, and there were several other areas where we went a little bit over because we didn't quite plan enough time. However, overall, we remained on schedule. This is our budget by resource. Total budget was a little bit over $4,000. Our cost variance, 440.
We have the planned cost, the actual cost, and the baseline cost. Baseline was established at the very beginning, what we think we would do. And then, as you can see, around the fourth and the fifth week, things are start to back up because we were thinking, hey, it's going to take more time than we originally hoped. So we adjusted our planned costs. So our planned cost was adjusted for a little bit more room. And even after that, we still went over budget because it took even longer. Most part was the hours spent on the database side. So that's where it comes out to.
And of course, the all-important lessons learned. Took us a while to select a project, but we were really, really happy with having worked on this project. I think once we made that decision, we were able to use a lot of the tools and techniques that we learned in class to facilitate things. As I said earlier, it stayed on track. There were a few hiccups along the way, but again, we were able to overcome those. A few compatibility issues with the Excel import, the data languages, but I think all of those were worked out. Very robust project in scope initially, but it was narrowed down to manageable levels. Again, we stayed on schedule. As a follow-up to this project, I think what we would do, one thing that we would do differently is involve the web administrator much earlier in the project. In fact, probably right off the bat. Okay, this is a summary. Talked about summarized our project schedule, project budget, and our lessons learned. Are there any questions? Thank you for your attention.